Hey, Parney here from Dash Car Productions, and the one thing I really hate about the Subaru STI is the sound system. The bass sound system on the car, it does not sound good at all. It is very muddy. The bass is really boomy. There's no detail to the music. There's no layers of the different sounds coming from the music. This is not clear at all. If you turn up the volume, the speakers start to distort. I mean, any genre sounds really bad. Even just podcasts or listening to the radio is exceptionally bad. I don't know how or why they put such a bad system, especially in a $40,000 car. When a Honda Civic, costing $23,000, $24,000, the bass sound system sounds actually pretty decent for what it is. So this video is about why I bought the Infinity Reference 6532iX. Now there's a few reasons why I specifically pick these speakers. First off, I was looking for a speaker that is compatible with a factory head unit, and I'm not going to be using an inline amp to power up the music. So there are a few things that we need to consider when we're buying a new set of speakers. And these Infinity speakers hit every one of those points. I mean, on paper, they are fantastic. Now, keep in mind that I have not listened to these speakers, so I actually don't know how they sound. But based on the stats and the reviews and how bad the stock system is, these systems or these speakers are gonna, I'm very confident that these speakers are gonna sound really good. So first off, the price for a pair is $159 Canadian. If you buy it from Crutchfield, they'll give you the brackets and the wire adapters, which will be very useful. If you buy them separately, they're like 20 bucks each, so it does add up really quickly. Now, one of the main things you want to look at, well, there's two main things you want to look at, but the first one is the sensitivity of the speaker. So the higher the number is, the more volume it can output. So these Infinity speakers have a sensitivity of 93, so that's actually really efficient. When you compare it to a very popular speaker like a Type S, the efficiency, I believe, are 89. So even though it's about 4 points different, those 4 points actually make a huge difference on how much output or how much volume the speakers can produce. So you want to look at how you want to get speakers that are very sensitive. So check mark for the first one. The second point you want to look at is the continuous power handling, and these speakers come in at 60. Now, 60 is a pretty darn good number if you're keeping everything factory. Now, you can get speakers that are a lot lower, like in the 30s, the 40s, which will work a lot better with the stock setup. But the problem is you're sacrificing really, they're using worse material, which I'll get into a little later in the video. So the lower the number is, the less energy or power is going to be demanding from the stock head unit, right? So you can turn it up and you'll get a lot of volume out of it. Another thing that you want to look at is the frequency of the speakers. So the Infinities have an excellent frequency range. They go all the way down to 53. So around 53 hertz, that's when you're getting that mid bass, that punchy, hard bass that a lot of people love. I mean, and you do want to get a speaker system that has the lowest hertz, especially if you're not going to be putting a sub. You don't want to do the hassle or don't want to put a big box in your trunk to take up the space, especially when you have kids. You don't have that much space. There's always toys and tents and a stroller in the car, so there's no room for a bass. So what you want to look for is something that has very low or as low as possible hertz. Now, if you look at different speakers that also have really like 43, 45, those are even better. But the problem is now that the sensitivity is going to be lower. They're going to be demanding a lot more power from the speaker. So instead of the continuous power handling 60, they're now like 80, 90, right? So when you kind of look at all those three things together, the only real speaker that I could find was the Reference that has high sensitivity, has low continuous power handling, has a really low, relatively speaking, frequency range. So the hertz is, like I said, at 53. So you do get some bass out of it. And now I want to get back to the material aspect of it. For the price, they're really, really good. Now the woofer is made of plastic, which is very, very common in this price range. It's a very common material that's used, but the tweeters are actually made of silk. If you start researching speakers, like for example on Crutchfield, you'll see that silk speakers actually cost a lot more money because they're more expensive to make. But if you're kind of person that wants a natural sound coming from the speakers, you do want to look for the silk material, and that's the kind of sound they're going to produce. I mean, if you want something more harsh, more crisp, there's other materials, and that's a whole nother section if you guys want me to get into. So with all that said, when you're looking to buy a sound system, especially for the Subaru bass system, which is really bad, and I recommend everyone to update it, you do want to look at the sensitivity, the continuous power handling, the frequency range, and also keep in mind the materials that you want to have your speakers, because they're going to create a different sound. So in my next video, I'm going to be showing how to install the front speakers, and then I do a video on the tweeters and then the back speakers as well. I did a lot of research on the back speakers, and a lot of people say you have to drill the door, and I don't want to do that on my brand new car. And I think I have a solution that we can avoid drilling. So stay tuned for those videos, and we'll catch you for the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.